Well, hello. I was thinking there's so much talk in the media now about online learning, and I know everyone isn't for it and for different reasons. And I understand is that I've said in my last video, everyone has to get back to work and we're depending on the school system to help us open the economy. But let's take a look at the benefits of virtual learning. But I want to start out saying virtual learning this time is going to be different from what happened in the spring. You have to keep in mind that as teachers and administrators, and actually the governor, this COVID caught us all by surprise. So we did the best we could. We've learned a lot from it. We've learned how it affects the students as well as the teachers. And so it's going to be different. I don't know what different looks like, but different has to be better because we did our best. But as far as delivery for digital and virtual learning, it was a partnership between the schools and the parents and the students. And sometimes the partnership worked and sometimes it didn't. So what we've spent summer doing, I know myself, I know I've taken really close to 30 hours of just training the summer, preparing for what I think is inevitable that we will be doing virtual learning. And not just myself, schools are giving us better what I want to resources. They're giving us strategies. Google has upped their game. A lot of the online platforms are better. And so when I say different, I'm really thinking better than what we did before. We did our best, and I applaud us. I applaud everybody that was involved, the students, the parents, the community. There were people to step up and give out equipment to our kids and Wi-Fi, Spectrum, and all this. I applaud everyone. It was all hands on deck, and we did our best. But I'm really believing this time when school starts again, because I really, really believe at this time that we are going to do some form of virtual learning. So let's how about look at some of the benefits. One of the things that I noticed, my first thing I must start out with, I am a career technology teacher, which means I use a lot of digital technology in my classroom. So when we would give our reports each week about student engagement, how many people showed up in class, well, or how many people logged into Google Classroom, that wasn't hard for me because my kids and I, we've been doing digital for the entire year. That's just the way I teach. I use digital the entire year with the intent of preparing our kids for a digital society. Well, when I say better about this time, is it's going to increase our students' digital literacy. That is not just at those that are socioeconomically disadvantaged. It's for our kids across the board. Many of our districts have given out technology, iPads, Chromebooks, but they weren't really being used in the classroom. So kids would lose them. They were used for entertainment purposes, mostly to watch Netflix or play games, but not for the digital literacy, not literacy as far as how to navigate through programs, how to navigate your address bar, your omnibar, and all the things that you need to understand on keyboard skills. All of those things were not being really, really emphasized in class because, let's face it, we have our old school way of doing things. So one of the benefits is it will increase digital literacy. Let's look at how digital literacy is important in society. Every job you think of has some type of digital technology. I know some people are afraid of digital technology, and it's more than how to operate a cell phone. It's more than how to play a game on a cell phone, how to take a video on a cell phone. After you do those things, digital literacy says, how are we going to put all these pieces together? How do you take a video and make it a presentation? Or um, how do you research something and how do you cite something after you've researched? Many of our kids were getting to college and they were digitally illiterate. So one of the benefits is across the board, we're all going to have to increase our digital literacy in this digital age. So that's getting us ready for our 21st century work skills. Another thing is there'll be less distractions from other students. Classroom management is a different, I won't call it a beast, but a different problem online as than it is in a classroom. But kids won't have to feel as though they have to compete with each other, with another student, as far as, how some kids just act out just to get attention. Well, this will give your student more chance to a better chance of learning because the distractions are not going to be as prominent as they are. I didn't say they're not going to exist, but they're not going to be as prominent, because the first thing we're going to teach them, back to digital literacy, is digital citizenship. And that's how you're expected to act online, how you're expected to collaborate. Our kids are going to learn how to collaborate online, which means that you don't erase someone else's work. You work together. These are skills that in the business world happens all the time. And I was listening to the news a minute ago. Many people that are in the business world do not want to go back to work, because they've learned how to do digital at home, and they see how much it's advancing. It balances work life a lot better. So they'll learn those things. Another thing is teacher directed learning. We're able to, yes, we have small groups in the classroom, but when you're on digital, it's you can get your kids engaged, and I'm getting to my next one. But you can also work out off screen. You can say, okay, it's not a matter of, because the class probably, I don't know how it's going to look, but it's not going to take as long as does in the classroom, because of course you're getting rid of distractions, which take up a lot of your time. So we can have them to come back in class or stay after everyone else logs out, and do more assignments with them, or examples, more hands-on. So that was the thing I liked about virtual learning when I was able to do it this spring, is because when my kids didn't get a concept, I would have them to stay after just a little bit, or they can log in later and we could talk about it at a more flexible time. So that's a good thing that we're going to be able to do. And then an engaged digital environment. It's more engaged because we're using the mediums that they're used to. We're using videos, we're using cell phones, we're using games, digital games. So we're taking what they're used to. We're on screen, which they're used to watching the screen. So they're used to, it's like we're taking the things that they play with and making it educational for real. It's not a matter of just saying, okay, let's go play this game. You'll actually have an instructor, you'll actually have a teacher. And it's another, the benefit that I guess this will be my bonus benefit, is that it's preparing them, those that plan to go to college. A lot of your classes are going to be online. I believe that's why most colleges now is going to be online because of COVID. But college has online college is a great thing now. They can work as well. They work themselves way through college. So now they're learning independence. They're learning self-regulation. They're learning to be online to learn. And what that does is that opens up a whole new way of thinking for them. So it's preparing them for college, especially if they're secondary. And then my final point is it's preparing them for a digital world. I said it earlier and I'll say it forever. Our responsibility is today. Now, of course, I don't know what jobs we're going to be needing this world is ever changing. Who would have ever thought that we'd be in a place that we have to do virtual learning? But because someone was in school, these people that have increased Google and these other platforms and coding, they learned that early enough, so someone prepared them for this day. Well, that's what we're doing. We're preparing them for a digital age. This is a digital world. So today we're preparing them to think bigger, to have broader thoughts, to use what they have. They have these phones, they have the computers, they have the Chromebooks, they have the iPads. How can we use that in order for them to be successful in life, whether that's college, building a business? I always tell my kids I'm preparing them to build a business because I want them to be the next millionaires with a grand idea. Those that are interested in YouTube, we're using these platforms now in the digital world, because YouTube is digital. There are people that have been discovered on YouTube using digital platforms now, teaching them the ins and out, how to edit, how to cut, all those things that they didn't know before. You're going to learn those during this time, how to use a whiteboard. And I don't want to go into all the things. Eventually I'm going to do a video on all the different educational tools that we're going to be using. But I want to just end my video by saying this time is going to be different. Trust, this time is going to be different. It will need some parent involvement, but it's going to be the same type of parent involvement we need now. You getting the kids to get online. But that's a whole different video I'm going to do later. But I just wanted to share some benefits of virtual learning. Bye-bye.